From industry creator to escape game owner, this location uses their whole brain to make it happen. Working on amazing games like Star Trek Rivals, Never Alone, and Fortnite, owners Heather and Rafael are playing on a whole different level. Let's see what they started right here on Find Your Escape. Hey guys, welcome back to another show of Find Your Escape. I am your host, Amanda Contreras, and I am here with Heather, the owner of Whole Brain Escape in Apex, North Carolina. Heather, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
I'm super excited. I know it's been a long time coming with us trying to get schedules, but thank you again. I appreciate it. You guys have 4 amazing rooms at your location, but before we go into that, do me a favor and tell me a little bit about where you and your husband, what you guys did before, how you got into escape rooms, and then I really want to touch on, for everyone listening, your community involvement, and I want people to stay to the end so that they can really see on how maybe they can get involved with their community as well. So first off, just go ahead and tell me a little bit about you and your story.
Great. Well, I came from a background where I've made video games for over 20 years.
Oh, wow! That's cool. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I've made games for a very long time. I started my career at Activision, and I have worked pretty much on every single platform since PlayStation came out.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
The most popular game that people probably know about is Fortnite. I was the senior producer on that for 3.5 years.
Wait a minute, that's right. I do remember you emailing me. That's right, Fortnite, because I was like, my son plays Fortnite. Yes.
I have worked on a bunch of other games as well, but that by far, of course, is the one when people say, hey, have you worked on anything I know? That's the one. I have worked on mobile games. I've worked on small games like Robots Need Love 2. I've worked on games that have an impact on their community, like Never Alone, which is a platformer game that came out about 5 years ago that was developed in conjunction with the Inupiat tribe up in Alaska.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, with my game career, I've been able to interact with lots of different people, work on lots of different cool games. My role has always been very production focused, so I'm the person that is wrangling all the pieces together and actually making sure that the thing we want to do is getting out to the players. I like to say,
what a great job. I was actually going to ask you, what exactly was your position? That is super cool. That's super important too. Okay.
Because it's one thing to have an idea, it's another thing to execute it, and then there's another part to get people actually playing it. So in the game, my role is to help make sure that happens.
That is so interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah. And my husband also comes from video games, but he comes from a creative standpoint. So he's been a game designer and a writer for many, many years. And so we were looking for something that, first of all, like when I left Fortnite, like that is like the most amazing experience of my career. Just
I'm so sure. That's rad.
But you put a lot of effort into that. And I thought, I want to do something where I take the effort I'm putting into this game into something for myself and be able to work for myself. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so I was looking for an opportunity there. And somebody suggested that my husband and I look at opening an escape room because we both love puzzles and games. He is a writer and game designer, and I would be able to run all the business stuff and all of that stuff. So we started doing research into it, and we knew that our community here in Apex didn't have an escape room, so we decided we would go for it. So that's how Whole Brain Escape was born, and we called it Whole Brain Escape because he is the creative half of the brain. I am the logic half of the brain, and between the two of us, we have a whole brain. And of course, as you know, as an escape room owner, escape rooms do best when they have many brains in the room at the same time working on all the different puzzles.
That's awesome. That's great. Now, did you guys play an escape room first, or did you guys just jump right into it?
No, we played before. My husband is an enthusiast, and he has a group that he plays with, and they have played most of the escape rooms here in the Triangle area, and then they've gone to Charlotte and Winston-Salem as well. So he has played a fair number of escape rooms, more than I have, but I have played a lot with my mom and my son, actually. So the 3 of us make this little group, and we go. I've played a couple in South Carolina, played some in Texas.
Excellent. Awesome. And where are you guys located? What's around you?
So Apex is a suburb of Raleigh. So we're called in the Triangle area, which is Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. Normally referred to as the NC Triangle. So we're about pretty much 15 minutes from anything in sort of that triangle area where we're located.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. So, before we get into you and the community, tell me a little bit about your games, what you have, kind of like the ideas behind them, how many people they hold, and then I want to touch on community involvement because I think it's super important for people to understand, like how they can make a better impact or how they can get more people or customers, market themselves better. So, I'm ready.
So we have a 3,000 square foot facility, and we have 4 escape rooms here. My husband designs all the escape rooms, builds out all the props from scratch, so it is completely unique and is very much a homegrown, locally operated business. We have 4 rooms. We've got Busting Out of the 80s, which has been very popular with people who lived through the 80s, but also people who are curious about what the 80s were really like. That holds up to 8 players. We have one called Escape the Supervillain's Lair, which is themed around superheroes and supervillains, and that one holds up to 8 people. We have Seekers of the Mystic Orb, which is kind of like this mysterious adventure, sort of inspired by Indiana Jones. And that room holds up to 10 people. And then our newest room, which we're getting ready to open next week, is called The Curse of Dr. Conundrum. And I'm not really sure how to explain it except to say it is kind of a psychedelic mad scientist adventure. And, just all the themes we try to keep stuff that's going to be very fun for families and coworkers. We purposely did not do any type of scary or horror themes because the area that we're in, we knew we would be getting a lot of families, so we stuck with themes that would be appropriate for all ages and wouldn't have jump scares. A lot of people here are not familiar with escape rooms, and so a lot of times I'm like, when I tell people about escape rooms, they're like, "Oh, I'm claustrophobic," and they seem scary. So we're able to say, no, well, we don't have scary content. We don't do jump scares, and our rooms are very spacious. And we've got 12-foot high ceilings in the spaces that we're in. So
That's excellent. Yeah. So at the average, you said 8, 8, 10, which is 16, 10 is 26, and then another 10. So about 36 people an hour.
yeah,
Do you guys have like a separate party room or do you guys do corporate events there? How does that work?
we definitely do corporate events here. And for corporate events, we could run up to 40 people split across the 4 rooms. We have enough room to kind of squeeze an extra person in each room. We don't have a separate party room. We kind of thought about doing that, but once we kind of crunched the numbers, and also after speaking with other folks, other escape room owners, we determined that using the space to make another escape room would probably be better from a business perspective than to have a separate party room. But we do have enough room, and we have an upper lobby and a lower lobby that I'm actually talking with somebody now to come in and do corporate training about, making the lobby areas sort of like training areas for corporate stuff if a company comes and wants to rent the space out and, bring a large team here, we can accommodate that on site.
Yeah, I think that's really good that you brought up too because we do not have a corporate space in our or a party room in ours either. And exactly what you said, we did the numbers, and there's no way that I would want to have that space in my lobby not producing money from a business standpoint. And I know a lot of people ask this question. I see it in the forums all the time. Hey guys, should I do this? Should I do that? And I always say get a location that has restaurants and things around you so that you're able to, number one, make friends with the restaurants. Number two, collaborate. And that way, the more people that know about you, they'll, respond to you. And obviously, if you're sending them business, hopefully it's in return. But I definitely feel that having more rooms versus a separate party room, huge advantage.
Yeah. And I would say the number of people that have asked about, hey, do you have a separate room has been very, very low. So it validates that we made the right decision. And we are within half a mile of multiple restaurants in the downtown Apex area and shops and other things. So I am working with them to, do sort of packages if needed. If someone wants to come and do an event here and then go eat, I can help facilitate that sort of relationship and get them paired up with a restaurant and things like that.
Which is awesome. So, which is a great segue actually into your community development and your community involvement. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about what you guys do, how you thought about it to think, to start that, and then what have you done, and maybe how other escape rooms can, do that as well in their environment.
Okay. So one of the things when we were looking at locations for escape rooms, we actually have lived in Apex for a very long time, like about 15 years. And Apex is one of the fastest growing suburbs in the United States. People might know about it because it has been frequently called out as one of the best small towns to live in America and
Oh,
things
that's
like that.
awesome. Okay.
So a lot of people are moving to North Carolina. A lot of people want to live in Apex. We've been here for 15 years. We love it. It's got that small town feel, but it's attached to a large city. And we really wanted to bring something here to the town of Apex that would be nice for the community and also be able to bring more people in to come visit our downtown area. The downtown area has tons of restaurants and gift stores and things like that, but it was lacking in activities. Like there was an activity, hey, let's go do XYZ. So we were very lucky to find a space that was very close to downtown, and that was sort of phase one. Like I wanted to be in the community that I lived in and then be involved. And so what I've done since I've been here is joined the Apex Chamber of Commerce, which I would say for sure has been well worth it. You get to meet the other small businesses in your town. You get to connect with the other business owners. They start understanding what it is that you're doing and the types of customers that you need, and then you in turn can help them grow their business as well. So the biggest community piece is that I'm very involved with the chamber, and I do a lot of networking with the other local businesses. There are lots of local nonprofits here that I'm getting involved with as well, to either by donating things to their raffles, and then there's two that I'm actually planning events with for the spring and summer to help their charities and also to make sure that people know about our room. And I think for a business, especially a small business, that being actively involved and supporting sort of the charities and things within your community is always a good thing.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we probably get maybe 10 or 15 school donations, charity donations like a week. And I just say give them to all of them. You know what I mean? I mean, at least, even if they don't come in and use it, at least your name is getting out there, you know?
Yep. And the other thing too, as far as like community involvement, we've been lucky in that the part-timers we've hired have been people from the community as well. Lots of teenagers. And so we find that really fun because we're a small business, right? We can't necessarily pay the big bucks, but we do hire folks that are interested in learning more about running a business or maybe about design or graphic design. So we try to provide, yes, it's a job, but we also are very interested in mentoring and helping people grow and learn in their position so that they can learn skills that they could then take to a future job.
Okay, so if anyone would like to either play one of your games, book you, or call you, what is your phone number and your website?
Okay, the website address is wholebrainescape.com. Phone number is 919-355-2714. And if you want to follow us on social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and the handle is WholeBrainESC.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. Again, we're with Heather from Whole Brain Escape in North Carolina. Heather, again, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today and sharing with us a little bit about what you do in your community. I really appreciate it. I know the listeners appreciate it. That's it. Say goodbye. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.